guys, welcome back to the channel. So right here we have John's 2004 Infinity G35 that we are doing a G37 front end conversion on. So last we left off, we mounted the radiator support, put the hood brackets and latches on, and basically helped center the hood. And I just mounted up the headlights just to mock it up, and I did mount up the Liberty Walk front bumper and had that all mocked up, and it looked pretty damn good. It was looking like a G37. But today we are actually going to be remounting back the G35 carbon fiber fenders right here. I know they're a little dirty, but yes, these are carbon fiber fenders that are going to get even more cut up because they were cut up for doing the wide body. But now we need to cut off this entire section right here because this is for the G35 headlight, and we are not going to be using that anymore. So I'm going to try to leave as much as I can of the carbon fiber fender because we are going to overlap it with the G37 fenders as well. So those G37 fenders are going to be cut out into this shape, and we need them to overlap each other because we are going to be fiberglassing them over each other, mold them together. Since these are carbon and those are metal, there's no welding involved. So everything has to be fiberglass with epoxy and have that stick together. All right, so we kind of got them mocked up, but as you guys can tell, this whole section right here is in the way with the hood hinge. And the same thing on this side. And it's not letting, since it's hitting the hood hinge, it's not letting it line up right here. And I had to take a look at mine just to make sure, and I did cut mine out on the G35 section right here. So all this is going to be cut out, and technically you don't really need it because of the fact that you're going to be putting the G37 one. So I'll show you guys right now in my car. So here we have my car. Right now you have these plastic trims that I folded over, but so you guys can see this whole part right here, this, even this one right here is the G37 fender. It's not the G35 fender. So G35 fender, I'd say, was cut all the way back here on mine. So it was somewhere right here, and it was cut like that. That's my G35 fender. Yeah, so all this inner piece right here needs to be cut down, and I'm gonna mock up one headlight to see how much of this I need to remove. I'm probably just gonna cut this piece off. I think this little corner should be fine, but I might just cut that off right there. And you know what, let's just find out. Somewhere right there, so right away you can see one needs to be cut. So I think, yeah, that top corner should be fine. This little part right here needs to go. All right, might as well get this side cut up as well. All right, so we got the headlight mounted up, carbon fiber piece right here. That, well, you know, it's not often you see someone cut a carbon fiber fender. But as I was mounting the headlight back up, and all of a sudden, you know, of course you can see that it clears right here now, I realized that the most obvious part is, you see how the G35 fender is just straight, but the G37 hood kind of curves outward like that. So we are gonna have to cut somewhat in that same shape, just so this could sit more flush, and then we could like just overlay the G37 fender over it. After even cutting that edge out, you can still see that the hood is hitting right here, and this is what I meant about the hood hinge pushing the G35 fender upward. so it pushes it up like that. So that's why I need to grind that little piece off from the hinge. But from here I could see that I am gonna have to do more cutting somewhere around this edge right here, or hopefully I could leave this, grind that hinge down, and yeah, just a tiny bit more on this side. This has to be, yeah, actually this is pretty sturdy. I already bolted it down from right here, but still need to grind down a little bit off the edge right here. All right, so even after trimming that down, there's still little corners that need to be cut. So little Dremel right here to help me cut those out. All right, so we have anything that would hit this fender cut right around the edge right here, but I could tell right here, this little scratch mark, the hood is gonna be hitting this little corner right here. So we're probably gonna add some space or something just to avoid contact with that, because it just barely touches it. So a couple of washers should be fine to fix that. So now that we have the G35 fender cut how it should be, okay, so now we got the G37 fender on, and as you guys can tell, no, they do not bolt right up. As you guys can see, all these big ass gaps. So I'm gonna do the cut somewhere right here, try to keep it leveled with the hood as best I can. You know, gap starts out fine. This is close to OEM right here, and then it begins to open up. This like this. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do a straight cut right here. Straight cut right here. Straight up like that. Yeah, the back part seems fine. And then I'm gonna leave all this, and we're gonna cut out this section down here as well. So I need to take the measurements from the carbon ones and apply them to this one right here, or I could just cut this out right here, cut this intersection in here, and try to make this whole part as flat as possible, overlap it on that, and then kind of just trace it around the back, and then I could cut from there. All right, so we have that part all cut out, all this huge spacing, and when I put the G35 carbon fender over it and just somewhat align it up here, you can see where the G37 fender needs to be cut. So it's definitely somewhere around those lines. Kind of gives you an idea of what more you should cut. So that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. I'm just gonna not try to mount this up. Or I'm gonna put the G35 one under, and then I'm gonna put the G37 over it. All right, we got the G35 fender under, but we need to trim more. So now that I have the other side bolted on, and it's how it should be, it's showing that right here I need to trim more of the G35 one, which is right there, so then I could properly mount the G37 over it. All right, so here we have it. This is where we're at right now. Bolted this one up for the fender. This one is about right. Let's see if I can show you guys. What the hell's a hood hinge? I don't know if you guys can see it, but come on. That little area right there in between, that's right over the hole where it should be, so it bolts up. And basically from here, this is basically what your fender will look like. Now all we have to do is trim this down to where the vents are. And as you guys could see, it's all the way up here. So that's that right where that cut is. That's where we're gonna have to cut straight like that. And then once we have that cut, we just follow this big vent line like so, and then go up like that. So let's get to it. Now to mount this back up on there, and then we could get that cut out right there. All right, so G35 is mounted from both down below. I had to undo this one because when I got the car, this one was bolted on, but I tried to use this bolt, but I can't use it anymore because it like kind of throws out the whole fitment down here where the side skirt just gets bolted up. See, like right now it's good, but when I had this one bolted up, the gap was closer here, of course, yes, but I know I got some, shoot, if I could have some room to play with, I'm gonna have to trim a little more off the G35 because it's hitting right here with the guide for the headlights. So this is stopping the fender from moving anymore. As you guys could tell, it's under tension right here, so I need to cut this little section off around the headlight guide in order to allow more movement for the G35 fender. So again, this is just, I'm just going as I'm doing this because it's my first time trying to do carbon fenders with metal fenders, so it makes it a little bit difficult. If it was just metal on this side, I would have just cut it the way I needed it, welded together, and I would have probably been done. But this makes it a lot more complicated because you need to have a certain amount of metal, you need to have a certain amount of the carbon, so you could fiberglass it and mold them together. So like I said, it's just a bunch of tedious work that requires little details here and there as you go along. So you know, gotta unbolt it now again, take this one off, cut the G35 one again, and hopefully this time around it will be all the cutting that I need to do. But you never know, I might have to like redo the whole thing again, take this off, to blah blah blah, you know, same old until I get it just right. So it's all about patience. Just be patient, it'll get there. All right, so it's cut out. Now let's put it back on and you know, then try it again. Hopefully it's good to go after this. And I realized that I do need to bolt down the hood hinges soon, because that bolting them down lifts the hood up a couple millimeters, just enough to clear hitting the fenders. Doing this, I also realized that there's a gap right here, and if I try to fix this gap, like I'll bolt it up right here, and this gap will get fixed and it'll be gone, and that's good. But as it is already right down here, even after I bolt the side skirt on, there's a gap, and that's having these two bolted down on the bottom right here. Yeah, that one and that one. But if I remove those two, I could bolt this bolt and this gap is gone, but then that means that this gap is going to get bigger. And it's kind of like a dilemma right here, because when I first got this car, this bolt wasn't even on and it had this gap. And I called the owner of the car and I asked him, where do you want the gap? Because there's going to be a gap regardless, because these are fly one fenders, and everybody says that, you know, they have a really bad I guess you could say fitment. So I asked them, do you want the gap up here or do you want the gap down there? But the problem is, if I fix the gap up here and I end up with a bigger gap over there, the holes to bolt the fender don't line up anymore, and I can't even bolt it down there. So I recommended to him, you know, it's better, let's leave those two down there, leave the gap here once we wrap the car, because this car is going to get wrapped in a different color. We could just add some black vinyl wrap right here and around this edge, just to like have it blend in, because that's how it was when I got it. And I'd rather have it bolted up from there, and then once the G37 is molded onto the G35, you'll have 1, 2, and 3 holding the top, instead of just having 1, 2, 3, 4, and then nothing down below. So it's better to kind of even it out. Now to move on right here. So this vent, this big vent, goes all the way straight from this one. So that's what we're going to be following. As you guys can see, it starts off somewhere right there. So it goes something like this. So let's kind of like scratch that up so we know where we're going. Kind of an idea. You know, we're not going to cut right on it. We're going to go a little bit past it, but just to give us an idea of where it is. And same for the top. I'm going to cut it right here, somewhere like that. And then after that, we'll just use the grinding tool to get the rest. Don't forget earbuds because it's loud. Let's get to it. So I still have like another 1.5 inches to go. I can still grind up on. Right there gives you the idea of what this fender could look like. Of course, I still have like probably like 1.5 inches right there that I need to grind down on. But, and here I still have quite a bit to go as well. So I'm gonna switch blades. Well, yeah, let's cut a little bit more off the top right here. Alright, switching over to this wheel. So this is basically like a 34 grit sanding disc. Get this one off. And from here we can grind down all the excess that we don't need. And kind of smoothing out the edges too. So it's not bad for first start right there. And make sure my gaps are good. Technically, if I wanted to, I could start putting in some self-taps here and there, and then I could figure out on cutting out the rest afterwards. But as you guys can see, that is definitely how it's gonna look like with the carbon vent, and the top is gonna be wrapped in the same color as the car. And you guys will stay tuned to see that color. It's gonna be a huge color change as well. So again, this is just like progress for the first fender. We still had to do all the cutting for this side, which we haven't done anything on yet, but progress takes time, so we're slowly getting there, but at least it's getting there, and you guys can see and picture that, and it looks so damn good. All right, so I just finished trimming a little more off the top right here, and we're getting closer to where that big vent starts, this area right here. So we still need to grind down more of this. Regardless, either way, we're gonna need to go past it and actually expose the carbon on the edge, because that's where the fiberglass has to like lay over, and so it can mold together. So we're still gonna have to go at least probably like half an inch or an inch past the carbon right there. So we still need to cut all this off, because like I said, we need to be able to lay over the fiberglass and then folds over. And I could tell that even with the Fly One fenders, it's kind of a similar process. You see how that's painted at the edge, so that's the same thing we're gonna end up doing on this. Well, I mean, we won't even have to paint it as long as this vent is good right here, and then we wrap it over. Once it's all bonded and smoothed out, then it should be fine. All right, did even little more grinding right now, and damn, that looks really good. Carbon vents look really good. This hood, original hood cable's in the way of the picture, but there we have it. Damn, look at that. Of course, it's all aired up right now, and this has been at least 4 hours of work. So yeah, I've been doing at least since 11. It's already shit, I don't even know what time it is. It's already 2, so 11, 4 hours. Yeah, 4 hours of work on just getting this far with one fender. Little by little, we still need to bolt down the hood hinges now, but I just mocked up the front bumper, the Liberty Walk front bumper, and I am actually gonna air it out, and I'm gonna show you guys how the car looks as of now, all mocked up. All right, so she's airing out. Let's just wait till she airs out completely. About right. All right, even I haven't seen it, so oh damn, god damn, look at that. Yep. Oof. That is looking like a G37 right there. Damn. Oh my god. Definitely looks so damn good. Of course, on this side we haven't done anything, but on this side, so you guys could see, that is definitely looking like a G37 right there. Yep. Looks so damn good. Well, with that being said, guys, that is going to be the end of today's video. That's all the work I got to do for, you know, that was a lot of work just for one fender. And of course, we still need to cut out the other carbon fender, the other metal fender, and get to that same progress that we got today. And yeah, it's still a lot of work to do. Plus, we still need to work on fitment, bolting down the hood hinges on both sides, and we still need to rewire the headlight pins to work for the G37 headlights. So more videos to come. Again, Thank you guys for always supporting the channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.